So I can't believe I even have to bring this up, but yes, people online are pretty upset right now with Nintendo and their current lineup. A lot of people are posting pictures online talking about how the lineup right now is just not really that interesting. That the year is full of ports, remakes, and remasters, and there's nothing to really get us excited about. Now, I find this kind of funny because as Nintendo fans, we do this every single year with Nintendo. Every single year, before the Nintendo Direct comes in February, we sit here and we say, we have nothing to look forward to, and we complain and we whine, and then of course we get an onslaught of announcements during that Nintendo Direct. Like always, I like to look at both sides, and I think both sides have a little bit of reasoning to be worried, or at least both sides have a little bit of reasoning that supports their arguments, and that's what I'm going to kind of talk about. But first, let's just kind of unroll the lineup and let's look at what we have this year. So what do we have this year? So first off, we have a remake of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which was a Game Boy Advance game. That is a very old game, it's a very small game, and it's even priced as such, which is a lot cheaper than the other games. We then have Splatoon 3's Side Order DLC, which is coming in February as well. Very small, it's a DLC to a larger game that came out years ago, so I understand people are not really seeing this as a major release. The game is already over a year old, so I get that. Then we have our first and only big game of the year, technically only new game of the year, being Princess Peach Showtime. At the same time, this isn't something along the lines of the next big Zelda, the next big Mario, or anything along those lines. It's not like a Metroid Prime 4 hype. It is a big game for Nintendo because it's the only new one, but it's still not hitting a lot of people on their radar. Not a lot of people are really interested in it. I even have the stats from my recent videos talking about the game. Not too many people are on board with this game right now. At least they're excited, like, to check it out, but it's nothing like they're holding their breath for. They can't wait for it to come out, which is fine. It's not really meant to be that. It's meant to be a fun, probably family title like a Yoshi's game that's fun to play, and then you move on and play what's coming afterwards. And what's coming afterwards is Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which is just a remaster of the 3DS game that came out many years ago. And it's just a slightly up-res remaster at that. And that leaves us with Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, which is another remaster of a GameCube game coming to the Nintendo Switch probably later on in the year, around the fall, probably around August. And this is probably the biggest game on this list for a lot of people. As much as I'm excited for it, and as much as I know a lot of people out there are excited for this game, it's kind of crazy that that's probably the most anticipated game on the list this year, which is a remaster of a game that came out on the GameCube. So whether you're happy with this lineup or wanting more, I think it's evident for everybody that Nintendo has things to announce. And that's the thing, and that's the reason why people don't need to really be getting upset right now. This happens all the time. There is no reason why we should have anything else but this. In fact, this is probably a lot more than what we normally get, and I'll do some comparisons with you in a second. But yes, there's still games to play and games to be excited for, but once again, I do see the other side of there not being anything to really just not be able to sleep over. You know, that one game that you're just been waiting for and you just cannot wait for it to drop. We don't really have a big title like that. It's just kind of a sleeper year, if you would. Let's do some comparing real quick. These charts were brought up by Pierre485_ on Twitter, so thank you so much for that. But we have some information based on last year. So check this out. So the top chart is based on 2023. We knew of Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which was a remaster slash remake, more of a remaster. We had Bayonetta Origins, which was a Bayonetta spin-off game. We had The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom to look forward to, which was a huge AAA game. We had Pikmin 4, another big AAA game coming, and we had Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, and of course Metroid Prime 4 has technically got to be there. But yeah, we know how that's going. But yeah, that was pretty decent though. I know a lot of people like to say that we didn't know much, but remember, two of those games were huge titles. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was a very big anticipated title, and Pikmin 4 you could say was also very big for a lot of people. But then you move on to 2024 and you look at the lineup, and of course that we had to throw Metroid Prime 4 in there again. But yeah, it's relatively small. But going back to that 2023 list and then looking at that February Direct of last year, it really didn't reveal anything that big. I mean, it just kind of talked about Pikmin 4 some more, talked about Tears of the Kingdom some more, and that was about it. I mean, seriously, all we got was the mention of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games coming to NSO. We got the reveal and announcement of Splatoon 3 getting DLC, but the biggest reveal of the entire show was Metroid Prime Remaster, which was just a remaster of a GameCube game that we've been hearing rumors about for so many years. Now, I'm not downplaying the game, it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's an absolutely fascinating remaster. It's so good, but still, it was just a remaster being the biggest news of the show, and just giving us more information on stuff we already knew. So if we base it off of last year, I can see why people might be a little bit concerned, considering the fact that we know all of these games coming out so far, which is just remakes and remasters, and there's a good chance Nintendo might not reveal anything that massive. Maybe just a couple more remasters or remakes and some super small titles, and that's about it. Something that we have to realize is we don't have any huge titles. We don't have a Tears of the Kingdom this year. We don't have a Pikmin 4 this year. I mean, the biggest game is Princess Peach Showtime, and let's just face it, it's not the next Zelda or Mario game. So you can look at this as a positive, if anything, that the fact that Nintendo has to reveal some type of big game for this year. I would expect it to be at least 2 bigger titles that actually get us excited, maybe something big in the summer/fall, and something big to end the year around holiday season. So there's definitely room for announcements. But listen, a lot of these people that are getting worried are also the same people that claims the Switch 2 doesn't exist, and also are claiming that there is no Switch 2 coming this year or being announced this year, which you just kind of have to be delusional at this point to think that. If you're looking at this lineup and looking at what Nintendo has been doing and basing it off of everything that's been coming out, it is so evident that the Switch 2 is coming. I mean, seriously, why do you think there's no huge title to talk about right now? Why do you think the next huge 3D Mario game isn't brought up yet, and it's been 7 years since Odyssey came out? There's a reason for that. Nintendo's not just waiting 7 years for the next 3D Mario game for no reason. It's because it's going to launch alongside this brand new console, and we're literally just waiting for the announcement trailer of this thing, and then it's really going to get hyped. So I will say this, we might actually go into this Nintendo Direct and it feel very lackluster. It might just be more ports, more remakes and remasters, and very small titles. Shoot, we might not even get the big game to get excited for yet. It might literally just be full of remasters and talks about stuff that's already coming. So remember, go into this Nintendo Direct with low expectations, because you will probably get disappointed, because based on the rumors and everything that I'm hearing right now, there is going to be a separate presentation after the Nintendo Direct to focus on Nintendo's new hardware and focus on the games coming to said hardware. So the hype is really about to kick into overdrive. If you guys are not happy about this current lineup, do not worry, because things are about to change. There still will be a couple surprises for the Switch. We might get a spin-off or two and some more remasters or remakes, but do not fret. I know a lot of us are tired of remasters and older games coming back. The new stuff is about to drop and it's about to get exciting. There's still tons of leaks and rumors popping out every single day, giving us even more information on what to expect, and literally just within a month or two, we will be finally getting our eyes set on that new console and some huge games to come, including that 3D Mario. But if you're excited for this next console and the games to come, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It helps out a million times more than you think. Please, it'll only take a second. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.